a lot of things have changed since the last time I updated with the garden, and I'll show you guys around and see what's going on. Here are my peas. They are just going to town. Notice the mustard buckets are gone, and I will tell you guys in a minute what happened to those. Here's the sugar pea. Desperately needs to go out in the garden, but I'm not getting the trellis stuff until next week, so next week that will join the other plants outside. Here's my garlic. I've got 3 of them coming up now. There were these weird little clear mushrooms growing everywhere that I picked out. Not sure if that was inside the topsoil I bought, or I don't know, attached, like spores attached to the garlic bulbs I bought, but that was kind of weird. I've moved the baby carrots over here, and because the cat got into my kale, so I've had to rearrange some things, and I'll show you guys the damage done there in a minute. Here's my parsley, finally sprouting. Here is the window box full of mustard. As you can see, starting to get some nice leafy greens. Here are my blueberries. Doing really well since I moved them back over here. I think they prefer the morning sunlight and afternoon shade. They seem to be doing much better here. And as you guys know, it's Friday, so everything's been watered. If you see something soggy, that's why. Here's what's left of one of my seedling trays. Let me open this up here so we can get in there. There we go. Alright, what's left of my seedling tray? Everything's pretty much been put out into the garden, except for this. This was not here last weekend when I transplanted everything, so there's some Swiss chard coming up. My bok choy, these 3 did not make it, so the 2 that I put out, I think had 2 each in them, and then I had a couple of transplants, so I think I've got 5 out there. I'll count them when we go out there. And then the parsnips are going to town. Those will go out next week with the peas. So, I know I said I should wait until Memorial Day, but I've got to get all of these cleared out so I can start my summer things, since the plan is to turn it over, and with only the summer really to get it done, I'm going to have to crunch a little, and I might have to do more container gardening than I had planned on doing. But for right now, this is where we're at. And check this out. Miracles never cease. This was the tray that I planted first, and nothing was coming up. And then today I look, and I've got all these sugar peas everywhere, sprouting up like weeds, and parsnips. What is up with that? I moved the rapini and the spinach, the couple that brought up, and I'll show you guys where I put those. And then down here, since nothing was coming up in the peas, I planted more. Look at that! I have a whole bucket full of little pea sprouts. These are the regular peas, and the ones that are now coming up are the sugar peas. So that's good, because I was just going to direct sow the sugar peas when I put the sprouts out. So, harvest will be better if they all grow at once. And harvest will be longer if they grow at different times, but you definitely want a large majority of any time you're growing pole beans, bush beans, peas, anything. You want the vast majority of them to be planted at the same time and growing at the same time and ready to harvest at the same time. That's how you get enough to, can or freeze or put aside instead of just growing ones to nibble on. And then down here are my transplants, what's left of them. I'm going to have to figure out what to do with them because I am officially out of space for what I plotted for my greens out in the garden. So, don't know what I'm going to do with these guys. I might just keep them in the pots for now and watch my greens out there because some of them don't look like they're doing well with the transplant, so I'll keep these as backup probably. And here is the pitiful remains of my kale. Some of them she even ripped out. Look, she ripped that out of the dirt. It's done. I don't know if the few left will come up or not. I also saw a little sprout before I watered these. So, there went most of my kale. Yeah, not happy with the cow right now. But that's what's going on inside. Now let's take you guys outside. I almost forgot. Real quick. Okay. Remember how last time I showed you guys this? I had a pot that didn't have anything in it? Look at that. It now has 4. So I've got this one, my chives, still saying that's oregano. This one, which judging by the leaves I'd say is basil. Got a little sprout in this one up top. So these two are still a mystery, but at least they're sprouts and they're growing, and we'll see what comes up. So that's good. Alright, now we're going outside. Man, it is a beautiful day outside today. Just gorgeous. Alright, so, garden. I've got my spaghetti squash out. Doing a little box with 4. I know there doesn't look like there's anything there, but I checked the seed pod, and there's a sprout coming up, so that should come up. There's the mustard. Moved it out here. As you can see, it's kind of wimpy looking. I mean, I just moved it out like an hour ago. So we'll see how they do. Over here, I direct sowed my kale. So hopefully we'll get some kale. This is the cat ate it. The arugula. Everything seems to have been a little bit hard hit since I moved it out here. So I'm thinking I'm going to have to water it every day. Because I watered it yesterday and that helped. But I hadn't watered it the 2 days before because it rained pretty hard on Monday and Tuesday. So I thought the ground would keep wet, but as you can see, it's pretty dry. Over here, I've direct planted the rapini, except for the 2 that came up. And then next to it is my Italian lettuce, Italian red lettuce. What's really interesting is it was totally green inside, and after I put it out, it's turned completely red. Like, I put 2 of the transplants out so you can see the difference. There's a transplant, totally green, and then totally red. So, next to it is a direct sown row of spinach. Get in here without stepping on my plants. With the 1 sprout that came up. So there's that. And here's my green lettuce, which honestly doesn't look like it's doing too good. I don't know if it's getting too much sun or... Here. See what's going on here. Yeah, see, it's just wimpy. So wimpy. I don't know what's going on there. My Swiss chard's not doing too hot either, which I found really surprising. I thought they'd perk back up, but they didn't. The endive, for the most part, is doing really good, but again, I've only got a few of those. With the time constraints, I don't think I'm going to plant more. My plan was to finish off the row with direct seed, but I'm not going to have time to do that and plant tomatoes and peppers over here. So that's a bust. And then here's my bok choy. Put that out today, and I got enough to go all the way to that green straw. So that's good. Those needed more room than I thought they would when I looked at the packet. And of course nothing has sprouted in the radishes and turnips yet, but looking forward to that. So I've got all my greens in the ground. I've got my spaghetti squash, because, I mean, look at that. Look how big that is. They were getting too big even for this plastic cups I moved them in. So the only thing left to do is next week we're going to plant 2 rows of peas, one of the regular and one of the sugar. Stake them, trellis them. I think I'm also going to invest in a water system, something simple like a sprinkler. I did that last year for my raised beds, and it worked really well. And as dry as this soil is, which is really concerning to me because I didn't think it would be this dry, I'm going to have to do that because basically I'm going to have to water them every day, maybe even twice a day until I get a water system in. So probably invest in that next week. It'll consist of buying a garden hose and a sprinkler to attach to the garden hose against the house so it can reach this far, because the house is all the way back there. I don't know if you can see it, but the garden hose is on the left corner, so it's got to go all the way across the backyard. But yeah, so that's what's going on right now, and hopefully everything will make it. My mustard's really got me worried. And if you guys have any tips or suggestions other than, well, you're planting too early, because I already know that, that would be helpful. And I hope you guys are learning from my experiences. And I'll catch you guys next week. Thanks for watching.